Good morning. I'm sitting at my daycare waiting for the parents and children to arrive, and I was just reflecting on my life and how many things that have happened were very unexpected. And it just goes to show how important it is to keep an open mind and be open to new experiences and new perspectives and new opportunities that come into our lives, because I was reflecting on how stuck I can be in my beliefs about the world and about how things should be and how things should go. And what this does is, when something changes or something happens that I thought, no, this should not be happening because I've got these preconceived ideas, it creates a lot of resistance and a lot of stress and a lot of worry and concern. But what I come to see is the blessing in it all and the gift. At first, it's a shock to my system because I was stuck in this one way of seeing, this one way of thinking. And then I slowly get used to the new way, and I look back and I think, what was it really the only pain and suffering that can possibly come is not through what's happening itself, but the thoughts and beliefs about it. So I just want to share a few quick examples of how this has played out in my life. So firstly, I never thought that I would homeschool my children. And this is not because I knew about homeschooling and resisted it, but because I thought that the way that the world works is that your children grow up and you send them to school, and they go to school all throughout their lives until they finish high school and they get a job and all of that. I thought that was the only path. And so I was living that path. And once I discovered homeschooling, I was afraid. I was afraid that this new path would bring a lot of conflict with other people. And yeah, it did at first, get a lot of heads turning at me and a lot of opinions. And this did bring up concern in me, am I doing the right thing? And it did make me question, the old way, is that really right? Am I really doing the right thing by homeschooling? Because this goes against everything I thought was real and true about my life. I'm just going to get my coffee that I have sitting here. So I learned something when I used to follow the teachings of Bentinho Massaro, is that you are offered a new path. So you're presented with a new opportunity, a new path, or a new timeline. And there's a process between stepping into that from the old timeline to the new one, where and he used to call it the 3-day process. So where your mind would question, do I really want this new path? And our mind can trick us and make us question and make us think that, hang on, no, this is not right because it's something new and different. I'm going to go back and stick to the old path because it's safe. And I find that this is very true. So when I started homeschooling, there was and the 3-day process, as he describes it, it's not necessarily over 3 days. It's a process of, there's a period of time between transitioning from the old path to the new path where we question everything and question if we want change and if it's right. And a lot of times we can become so afraid to step on that new path that we just go back. And many of us in the world will just stay in what's safe. But that's never the case for me. No matter the fears, no matter the concerns, I've always managed to step into that new path, the new timeline, and I always look back and see that I had nothing to be afraid of, and I've always been able to look back at the old path and see that, hey, like that was right for me then, but now it's time to move on. So homeschooling has been such a blessing for our family for nearly 13 years now, and something that I could never have imagined I would do, I've been doing this whole time. The second thing that I never thought I'd do is work in childcare, because I was a mum and raising children is hard, right? And particularly homeschooling and being with my kids all day long. So when I got past that period of that decade of raising my kids and being at home and not working, and when it was time to go back to work, I tried these different things. I tried the hospitality work, I tried retail, and I landed on childcare, and my mind was going nuts because I was like, no, like I've been basically in childcare. I've been raising kids, and no, I need to do something different. I'm not supposed to just keep working with children. I need to get out there and do what I've done before I had kids, which was work behind the bar or be a waitress or work in the kitchen or try stocking shelves. And I just ended up doing my childcare certificate while my mind went crazy saying like, how is this a thing? And I actually went on to become qualified and open my own family daycare. So this is something I never thought I should do because I was stuck in my ways of what kind of work that I should be doing. And it's turned out that this is what I love to do. I love running my own business. I do love being with children. And there was a period of transitioning, as Bentino calls it, the 3-day process, where I questioned a lot, and is this really what I want to be doing? And I feel that my 3-day process was actually a period of 12 months of me questioning, and I feel that now I finally know this is where I'm meant to be and what I'm meant to be doing. And I'd no longer have those old perspectives and thoughts that this is not what I should be doing. Now, this brings me into something else that I never thought that I would be doing, is working 2 jobs. So my husband did lose his income some time ago, and I never considered that him trying to get work was the only option, because he has been trying to get work for more than 6 months with no success. And it never occurred to me that how easy it is for me to get work with all of my past hospitality and retail experience, that I knew that if I walked into any place, like I would get a job. But it never crossed my mind to do that. Because I was stuck in the thoughts that, no, I have a job. It's up to the husband now to get the job and provide for the family. You know, women don't work 2 jobs, or I shouldn't work 2 jobs because I'm a mom, and how like that would be bad for my kids. My kids would suffer. They would never see me. And something just clicked in me, and I went and I got a second job. And actually my husband got a job at the same place with me. So we are both working at our local bar. And so I'm back behind the bar and waitressing, which is what I thought what I should have been doing before I came into childcare. But it's now my second job, and I love it. And who would have thought that me working 2 jobs is actually like a blessing? It gives me an outlet away from just being with children constantly, which I love, but it also helps me to have a social outlet. It helps me to burn energy. I love to run around and serve people and collect plates, and I love pouring beers, even though I don't drink alcohol much myself. I just love the creativity in working behind the bar and mixing drinks and serving customers and smiling and talking with people. It feels really good to me. I've always loved that. Yes, I'm doing a lot of hours and I'm home a lot less, but this feels really good to me. And there has been a transition of, is this going to be bad for me? And the resistance and all the thoughts of moving from the old ways of thinking that this is wrong, this is bad. And what I found is my 3-day process is actually becoming a lot quicker these days. There's not even 3 days of resisting and thinking and trying to move from one timeline or one path to another. It's becoming so quick. The thoughts, the worries, the concerns, they come up, I meet them, and then they're gone. So it's a lot less time these days between change coming up, embracing change, and moving to the new path. And it doesn't mean that what I was doing before was the wrong path. It just seems like things are happening so quick for me now. I'm doing one thing and then I'm doing another and then I'm doing another, and none of it is not, it's all meant to be. So when I do something new or I shift paths, it doesn't mean that the old path, like I'm seeing that I didn't have to leave childcare and get a new job. I'm sort of like navigating both paths, but it's all in the one timeline, and it's all becoming integrated into like one path, and where I feel less like I have to choose between this thing and this thing. I can do it all. So yeah, I just felt really inspired to share how try not to get stuck in those familiar thoughts and patterns, like especially if it feels so restricting and it feels like you're in resistance and you're thinking, I shouldn't be doing this thing. Embrace the new thing, because you might be surprised at how strong you are and how capable you are at doing something that you thought you would never do. Like, for example, homeschooling, you might really want to do it, but think that you couldn't possibly do that. You might surprise yourself like I did. And you may be better at something than what you thought. You might be stronger and more capable at something than what you ever thought possible. So embrace change. When change comes and a new opportunity presents itself, allow yourself to be scared. Allow yourself to worry about all the things that could go wrong, but give it a go anyway, because that is stepping onto that path. And once you step onto that path, you will be gifted. There will be blessings, and you will see that there was nothing to be afraid of. So yeah, I'm wishing everybody a wonderful day, and embracing change is a good thing. So love to you all. Bye.